Oh, hello there. Yes, well, another week dawns, and I'm certainly feeling pretty weak at this dawn. Yes, indeed. One of the things about the trans debate, if we can use that ridiculous phrase, is that there is no debate, okay? A debate involves two positions whereby you get to hear both sides of, if you like, the debate. That's essentially what it is, isn't it? But a discussion of trans issues in the British media, be it legacy media or your newer wonderful outlets like GB News, simply gives us wall-to-wall coverage of hatred. That's what the transphobia is, isn't it? And I thought yesterday we'd actually reached a kind of apogee with the whole thing. The Daily Mail decided to basically lift an article by James Esses, and it's worthwhile, I think, just spending a little bit of time thinking about that. So let's have a look at the headline. Right. Teachers' webinar felt more like a cult meeting. Undercover therapist reveals trans lobby urged activist teachers to ignore government guidance on gender questioning children in English schools. Yes, which is a bit of a mouthful one way or another. I've got a very good journalist friend who always, one of his golden rules as a editor is take out the adjectives. Well, what we left here is with a teachers' space whereby teachers were discussing the proposed, keyword, government guidance on gender in schools, and I'm guessing these people felt that they were probably in a safe space where they could speak their minds. However, they weren't, because we had all the joys of James Esses there, who no doubt was pretending to be a teacher undercover, there you go, lying in order to record presumably what they said and then report it. The people involved, I mean, this is one of the things that sort of got me about this as a teacher, but the people involved who, in a couple of paragraphs, which I won't go into details about in the piece, he basically identifies two of these people as being bad, which I don't think is necessarily going to be very good for them. Yeah? And then later on, with no questioning about whether or not anything about this is actually real or not, yeah, it's just what James says and what he thinks and what he feels, and it's all about him, because it always is just about him, yeah. We then get to hear from Lucy Marsh from the Family Education Trust. As far as I can make out, she's the only person at the Family Education Trust, who are a group of concerned citizens who don't really like gay people or anything to do with sex, and it kind of goes downhill with them from there. So here's the debate, people. Yeah, okay, a bunch of teachers may or may not have done something that James doesn't like, and somebody who doesn't know anything about it as well agrees with him. That's the article. Thanks, people. But have a think about this, right? Okay, yeah, those teachers were presumably discussing something that they felt strongly about proposed government guidelines which aren't set in stone, yeah? And, you know, they get little Mr. Stasi in their midst who just decides to go running to the head teacher and tell them all about it. There are no teachers' voices in this at all whatsoever. It's simply that great person James again, yeah? I mean, he's still collecting money, still hasn't reached his target. It's another stretch one. We'll never get to see him in court. So please do give him some money, because I would like to see his case in court. And, you know, he's a man who didn't manage to qualify as a therapist, but somehow magically is very well qualified to comment on these issues. And he's a person that had to leave Childline because of issues, right? And he's very well equipped to talk about children and safeguarding, despite the fact he had to leave the organisation, which, in my way of thinking, makes him something of a liability. Would you want to work with somebody like that, who may well secretly record what you're saying and put their own particular spin on it, and then effectively go to a newspaper and, I'm guessing, get paid for it? This is the debate, right? No trans people, no therapists, no teachers, just James, who's taken at his word about what he has to say, dumps the people on the course that he lied to get on with, no doubt recorded them against their will, I can only guess. And here he is, yeah, once again, making a living out of doing these things. And I'll go back to it. Would you want to work with him? Can you understand why maybe he doesn't last very long on courses and organisations want to get rid of him? Can you? Yeah, could just be. No, of course not. It's James. He's the victim. Always the victim. Anyway, there we have it. I don't know. I just find a lot of this stuff immensely depressing. If I actually was a trans person, or I was questioning my identity as a young person, and this is the kind of mood music that's out there, I don't think I'd be very happy. I'm not trans, but it depresses the hell out of me that these people just get a platform to spout bile, just the nastiest stuff, and nobody questions them. Is it just me? Because if you look up James S's, there are one or two people, I'll leave a link to an article below, there are one or two people that question this, but he's just given a platform anywhere he wants to spout any nonsense that he does want to spout, and it has a real effect on people's lives. Still, never mind, he knows best, eh? Stare. God, that was a bit deep for Monday, wasn't it? Anyway, do have a lovely day. If you can, stay dry. It might be a bit damp tomorrow. Certainly going to be windy, isn't it, eh? Ooh.